Welcome back to the Sue Yan Sue Talk Show Cottage Talk with your host Sue Yan, reaching beyond the boundaries for social growth. I am very excited today at Cottage Talk. We are joined instead of Cottage Talk with my girlfriend, Fazeena Haniff. Welcome.
Thank you.
Awesome. I got it right?
You got it.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Wow, awesome. Thank you for taking the time to come on us to talk to us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes, wow. The last time we hung out together, we had tea.
We did.
And we had like the best time ever. We're like,
awesome. Yes.
You're owing me what, lunch or dinner? Which one?
We'll talk about it.
We'll figure it out. All right. Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Fazeena.
Well, I'm a communications coach and consultant.
Okay.
I started my own business a few years ago after being in the public and private sectors for about 12 years.
Wow.
Yes. So I was a senior communications specialist there. Learned a lot. It's been an excellent experience. Yes, was able to advise senior leaders on communication strategy and on different issues and initiatives. And then got to a point where I felt like I wasn't in a place where I was growing the way that I wanted to grow and not living on purpose the way that I wanted to live. So the opportunity to leave came up and I took that opportunity.
Wow.
And from there, went on a path of self-discovery and decided to start my own business.
Wow, that is powerful. Communication coach. Now, until I met you, actually, I was wondering, what does a communication coach do?
Yes.
And why do you need a communication coach? And truth be told, communication is one of the most important things to us today in this world. We do have verbal communication and non-verbal communication. And if it's not being sent right, or the message is not clear, it can create a whole lot of problem.
Absolutely.
So you advise companies, you're saying senior executive?
That was in my past life, yes.
Okay.
That was my past life.
And in this life,
yes.
Who do you advise as a communication coach?
Yeah, I work mainly with entrepreneurs, being able to speak your message and what you do and how you help other people is very, very important. As a small business owner myself, and going to different networking events, it's been eye-opening to see how much of a struggle it can be and how challenging it can be to get in front of people and say what you do, how you do it, and do it in a way that's confident.
Wow.
And that's clear and that's articulate and powerful. Wow. And so what I do is I help those people get clear on their message, understand what's holding them back from being themselves in front of people, and be able to speak powerfully what that message is.
So it's not just about communication, it's about getting your message out on every level.
Yes.
Because you're saying that if something is going on internally with you, it's very hard to send your message out.
Absolutely. And what I do is I spend a lot of time building foundation with my clients.
Okay, that's important.
Very, very important. What you rightly said earlier is that there's a verbal and a nonverbal component to the way we communicate.
Okay.
And when we verbally communicate, that's just words. And it's so much more than just words. The nonverbal component is huge. What we don't realize is that there are also 4 other pieces to that are feeding our verbal and our nonverbal communication.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
4 other pieces?
Yeah, so in any interaction, we actually go in with an intention. And we don't necessarily stop to think that because we're always speaking, it's very natural. We don't really stop to say, wait a minute, what's my intention? So when we understand there's an intention, we can become more aware of that.
Wow.
Yes.
See, I'm learning that. So there's an intention behind Cottage Talk. It's good to know.
Yes, absolutely. And also there are values. We all operate from a set of values that are exclusive for us. We all have different values. Your values are different. My values are different.
That is true.
Yes. And the way we communicate is based on those values. And so I spend a lot of time with my clients helping them understand what their values are. A lot of people don't know what their values are, and they don't realize how big a part that plays in every aspect of their life.
How can someone have a value and not realize it? How do you explain this to them? Because if you come inside a room and say to someone, okay, well, I don't think you know your values, what tools do you use or how do you say something out like that so you can have an open conversation for the person to be open with you?
Yeah, so I can tell you with my one-on-one clients, I put them through a values exercise.
Okay.
So after having conversation with them a few times, I can start to hear things that are really important to them. So I'll start pointing those things out, and then they will be like, Aha, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So when we go through the values exercise, it's very illuminating for them. And they start checking off things that they didn't necessarily know about themselves. And then they become aware of it. So now when they're operating in regular everyday life, they're starting to see how those values are playing a part of in their life. And also in how they're communicating with the people in their life, whether it's at work or in their personal life.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is powerful, Fazeena, because I know that because you've done 12 years in communication coach. Someone may say that you only have the same business because you have the experience. Is there a reason behind your personal reasons behind all of this, why you decided to have a company that deals with the same thing that you just resigned from? Because remember, you're doing it for 12 years, you're getting paid for it.
Yes.
All of a sudden you're like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, but now I want to have my own company that does the same thing. What's your reason behind that?
It's an excellent question, Marcia.
Thank you.
Yes. And the reason is when I was working from 9 to 5, I was actually helping organizations mainly communicate externally.
Okay.
So writing a lot for them and also helping them to present themselves well. But it was all about the dressing.
Oh.
Yes, it was all about the dressing. Now it's about the foundation.
Nice.
And I realized that we don't spend a lot of time on the inside out. So again, it's building that foundation, having a strong core from which to communicate.
Wow.
Yes, and so we can talk about words, my clients and I talk about words, but I'm more concerned about what's going on inside.
Because what's going on the inside is very important.
Yes, yes. And so while they are similar in terms of topic, which would be communication, it's a very different approach.
So would you say there's some spiritual side to that, or spirituality, where communication is concerned?
It can be. Yeah, I mean, when we're looking at things like intention and values, the other two things were preferences, and a big one is your fears and limiting beliefs.
Wow.
Yes, and how those things feed into how you present yourself, how you speak.
Wow.
Yes, and how, you know, your body language, what that's giving off.
That is true.
There is a lot of an internal component to that, so much more than people realize.
Wow. Talk to me about fear and belief. How does that play? Elaborate a little bit on that for me.
Yeah, fear and limiting beliefs, they can be very paralyzing. They're insidious in some ways.
Really?
Yes.
Like a disease, you're saying?
Well, I don't
Similar?
take it that far.
But it infects you then?
Yes, absolutely. So, you know, if you're in a meeting and with a boss and you have something to say, but you have a belief about yourself that you're not good enough or people don't listen to you, you're going to hold back.
That is true.
Right?
Yeah.
And people don't really realize that they have those beliefs and those limiting beliefs and fears within them. And it's holding them back from promotions, from starting a business, from relationships, from having important conversations that could transform their lives. And so when they start to become aware of those fears and those limiting beliefs, they can start to transform them and they can make choices so that those fears and limiting beliefs are no longer holding them back, but they're the ones that are in control.
Wow. And you help them to come to this understanding?
Yeah.
Wow. Girl, you just blew me off my chair. Because I didn't even realize there was so much intricate detail to communication.
Yes.
Because I know of the nonverbal and the verbal.
Yeah.
But I wasn't thinking of the fear and all the other 4 components.
Yeah. And how they feed into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for someone that's watching today and they're having that challenge internally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, not realizing that maybe communication is something that's their problem, what advice would you give to that person?
I would say raising your awareness, recognizing what's going on inside, knowing that there are ways to work through that is very important.
Yes.
And, you know, when we work on ourselves, what I say is, you know, when we work on ourselves and we improve our communication with ourselves first, then we can definitely improve it with others, which is what we want to do and which is what, you know, most of the focus has been on for communication.
So how do you feel about International Women's Day that's coming up? I know we do have a lot of powerful women in our community that are making a difference, that are changing lives, that are engineer, and oftentimes, you know, it is swept under the rug. What's your feeling on that?
I believe women lifting women up is so important. We understand each other.
That is true.
Yes. Not cutting each other down, very important.
Yes, very
when we lift each other up, when we come together, we are a powerful force.
Wow.
and we can do amazing things. We can transform the world. I think we're seeing that right now in the world.
In the world that we're in. A lot of women in power and authority, and a lot of authors.
Yeah, and challenging the status quo.
That is true.
Yeah.
Wow, that is powerful. So I know we talk a little bit about why you do what you do.
Yes.
How do you feel on a day-to-day level personally after you've helped someone to overcome some of these challenges? Or how does that make you feel?
It's an incredible feeling. I think when you are able to, or when I'm able to, be of service to someone and watch a client coming in at a certain place and see them have the aha moments and the awarenesses and the transformation through different, fears or limiting beliefs, it's very powerful. And it's very fulfilling, and I feel like I'm being of service to the people that need me, and it's what I want for myself, and something that I couldn't do before, but now I'm able to do it, and it warms my heart.
It warms your heart. It warms your heart. So I know that oftentimes one of the key things that creates a problem, and as I said it to my past guests, your spiritual belief and someone else's spiritual belief can be a barrier. How do you deal with spirituality? Or, some people believe in Jehovah, some believe in that. How do you, overcome those challenges as you have different clients from different background, different ethnic group, different values? How do you deal with that? Because now you're there to help them open a communication line, but then oftentimes, because of spirituality and different beliefs, there can be another main problem there. How do you deal with that?
Absolutely. It's not about me, it's about the client. And so I focus on the client and what their goals are, and I help them to move forward in whatever that is. So if their spiritual beliefs are different from mine, it's not really relevant to me.
Wow.
For me, it's holding space for the client to move forward in the way that they want to move forward.
Wow, so you make sure that you deliver the goods.
Yes.
On every level.
Yes.
Wow. Well, what can I say? I'm blown away by how important communication is and how important it is in our day-to-day life to know who we are as a people and understanding that, and how not knowing what's going on emotionally and internally can hold us back from making decisions or also flying to the next level. Fazeena, thank you so much for taking the time out today to talk to us on Cottage Talk.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you for coming over.
Thanks for having me.
You are the best.
Thank you.
And you're still holding me lunch.
We'll talk. Call me after.
Definitely. Take care, baby. Thanks.
Awesome.